Well, hello there, welcome to Pringle Racing, and the guys at Milestone have been busy these last couple of months with MotoGP 26 just being released at the end of April, and they've also now done some updates to Ride 6, one of them being online challenges, which is what we're going to talk about in this clip, as well as relieving a new DLC pack for the season pass holders, which is the Naked Bike pack, which I'm going to review in a couple of weeks' time. But going back to the online challenges, this is a free update. You don't need the season pass, it's available to everybody. And I'm going to call this clip Constructive Criticism. And the reason why I'm going to call it that is that Ride 6 is a fun and visually impressive looking game. The only problem is it's lacking something under the bonnet. And the best way to describe Ride 6, in my opinion, I think Ride 6 is like a DeLorean. You know the car from Back to the Future? Well, when that car came out, it was visually stunning, but when you actually get into it, the engine was weak, they didn't have any bells and whistles, and that's what I think Ride 6 is to me. It looks great, it's fun to drive, yeah, it's fun to play, but they don't have the features, they don't have the extra mileage to take this game to the next level, and I'm hoping that that's going to change. Because we live in a world where games are now evolving. They don't just come out and stay static. We do see the things the likes of, let's say for example, No Man's Sky. That came out, it didn't have enough content, and over time that has changed drastically into a completely different game, and it is absolutely phenomenal. If we take Drive Club, there was a couple of technical issues with that, then that game evolved, they've rectified all that, they sorted the online out, and they introduced bikes, they even did a VR element to it, but the game also evolved in that. Sadly not enough to keep the studio, but it was still a fantastic update, and if you ever got to play that game, I tell you, it's flipping brilliant. If we take Ubisoft have been digging themselves out of a massive hole recently, and they seem to be heading now in the right direction, but let's take the Star Wars game. Things like little features that when you climbed a wall, the gun would drop off. Now it stays on you and you can keep your guns that you pick up. Silly little features like that in a game that you would have thought would have been standard. They had to change the mechanics completely. They also then changed the Avatar game. Although they would thought Avatar was going to be a huge success, it didn't sell the numbers they wanted it to do. So that changed. They created a third-person perspective so you could play the game in third person. Let's also take Ghost Recon. Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I love Wildlands, was brilliant, but Ghost Recon Breakpoint came out with a bad start because they didn't like the scoring system and how you increased your guy's character. That completely changed. They inserted a whole brand new mode called Game Immersion, and then you can play that game. And Ghost Recon now is a really good game. It's a fun game. I've platinumed that one as well. I've platinumed all these games that I've mentioned. But that's what I'm hoping is going to happen with Ride 6. And when they released online challenges, that was the hope, in my hope, that it was going in the right direction. They are looking at features, they're looking to expand that portfolio, they've got a good base to build a really good game, and I'm hoping over the next 2 years, because they've got 2 years plans of DLC, that this game is going to just get better and better. So with all that in mind, does the new online challenges that Milestone have rolled out actually enhance Ride 6? And that answer is quite simple, no. Even though there are more things to do, it's just no. Right? And the best way I can describe this update is like if you get a development team that spent the whole few months playing games, been watching, I don't know, the latest show of The Boys, which to be fair is a really good show, and then suddenly they realise next week we've got to get online challenges out, and they just cram the whole thing out to get it finished for the following morning. It feels like my university days. So what you end up feels less like a polished featured update and more like an all-night panic cram session to get something released on time. A timescale that no one knew that was even coming, so they could have just taken the time to think about it. Now, okay, I know, I did mention at the beginning of this video it was about constructive criticism and not blindly just bashing the developers. And I really want to emphasise this. I want Ride 6 to be amazing, okay? And it still has the potential to be amazing. So I'm hoping discussions like this can generate enough momentum, enough noise, enough passion from the community, if I get my teeth in, that Milestone actually start listening, because there's a foundation here that could be spectacular. So before I can explain how I think this feature could genuinely evolve into something unique, we first have to highlight the flaws in its current form. Now bear with me, because towards the end of this clip I'm going to show how the game Hitman, World of Assassination, yes that's right, Hitman, could completely transform this feature into something far more engaging and realistically wouldn't even be that difficult to implement. So bear with me and let me explain. So now in Ride 6 from the festival main menu, in the top left hand corner there's a new option called Online Challenges, and if you've pressed L2 you can access this, and the challenges are broken down into weekly and monthly challenges. Now the weekly challenges are so lame it begs me to question if Milestone understand what the word challenge actually means. I mean, whilst competing some of my career stages, I found that I'd already completed the 2 stages for that particular week, and one of those was win 3 races in America and the other one was win 5 kilometers with a motorbike. And if we look at this week's challenges, I mean, this is just a prime example. One of the challenges is to download a livery for a motorbike. That's not a challenge, it's just a task. There's nothing in that. It takes 2 seconds to do. Very boring. The other one, I didn't know I'd even done. It's already completed before I'd done it. And it says complete a time trial on the Blue Wave bike, again, using a motorbike. Come on, guys. Let's have a bit of variety in there, please. Oh, man, it's just very dull. Now, the monthly challenges are a little bit more interesting, where you have 2 leaderboards to compete against. One of them is to set the fastest race time with a particular bike on a particular circuit, and the other one, shock horror, is set a lap time on a particular bike on a particular circuit. And there's also an extra season pass challenge, which is so generic and boring, it's what a waste of time that is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to show you my first attempt on the Blue Wave Endurance Challenge, where on the Ducati you've got to set the fastest race time against the leaderboard. So this is my attempt. I've got pro settings on. I'm going to give it a go. Let's see how I do quite well. I think I handled it quite well. I cut the corners quite neatly. Now, every challenge you get gives you a number of points, and those points go to a number of rewards. Now, the rewards are not interesting either. They're just like a bike helmet. Now, personally, I've noticed deliveries that a lot of people can create some really quite stunning stuff. Why can't we have proper race deliveries made up? So give me the actual one from a certain season, or give me some really cool design ones by the development team, which you can't get unless you do the challenge. So for me, make the rewards worthwhile doing. To me, the crash helmet, I've won a couple of crash helmets and I can't flip and find them to assign them to my rider because it's not that clear. I mean, it may be me, you may find that I'm just being stupid, but it needs to be worth something. So you do these challenges and you score a certain amount of points that will unlock certain objectives. I think there's a free bike, but the bikes seem to be all the same at the moment. I've got 4 or 5 variations of the same Ducati. I want a wider range. I don't want the same model. I want different models. I want the Deval back. I want these other bikes. Now I know the season pass is going to release some extra bikes, but I'm not seeing all the new bikes. I want to see the new Norton that's coming out. This looks absolutely fantastic. But I mean, it's a short little circuit. You've got 5 laps to do here, and I'm not doing too bad. I've got a good lead. You can cut these corners really well here. If you cut it quite quickly, you can do it quite neat, making sure I don't crash. And I think I set a pretty good time. I'm already 4 laps into this already. Let's have a look at this as we come round. So there you go, smashing this on the final lap. Come on, I'm about to start the final lap. Watch the nose doesn't drop because it likes to do it quite tricky. Final lap, do 26. Could probably do it around about 25 if I'm careful. Watch it doesn't slide. And there you go, I'm quite happy with that. I did a pretty damn good time. Let's watch it, we're nearly there. Cut the corners. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. There you go, 280, which I'm quite happy with the first attempt. I didn't crash, didn't make any errors. I need to see if I can improve it. Now, by the time I navigated back to the menu, because it's not straightforward to get back to this, by the way, I could say I'm ranked 570, and as you can see there are 3 layers of positioning you have to be. If you're in the top 3,000, you'll get a helmet. If you get in the top 1,000, you get a discount, and if you get in the top 500, you will unlock the Ducati. Okay, so 570 for my first go on pro settings without falling off what's too bad. Now let's see what that looks like on the total global standings and see where I am on that. Now at the time of recording this clip, the number 1 time is a 1:59 and in second place is at 2:11. That's a 12-second gap between first and second place. Now, the other thing I want to explain at the moment, can you look at the A and the P's down the side of the ride? There's a couple of A's and a couple of P's, and I'll explain that in a moment. But there's a drastic difference between first and second, and I'm almost 20 seconds off. So I was thinking, how the hell am I going to have to up my game to be that much better? I mean, as you can tell from my previous clip, I didn't do it too bad. I didn't cut the corners too bad. So is it all in the start? Do I need to get through quickly? So this is my fastest lap time attempt. And I'm just going to show you here, which is an absolutely horrendous feature within this game. I can't believe the developers have done this. And it's just mind-blowing that this actually exists. So I'm trying to get through here, and I've cut this corner wrong. And I've done it, oh, that's wrong, and I got penalised for that. So guess what? They've left the flipping rewind on. How is that a challenge? Look, oh, done it wrong again. Rewind it. Sorry, make a mistake. That's not a challenge. No, you can't. No, I'm just lost for words. How can you call that a challenge? You're just going to fudge it. It's not riding a bike. It's not ride 6. It's called rewind. I mean, at least on the crew, when you use the rewind in the crew, the clock still carries on ticking. Yeah? So they penalise that you can use the rewind, but the clock will still go. That's genius. These guys, not a clue. What the hell? It's not a challenge. You can't be the best if the person is rewinding and back and forth. That was the first no-no, and that's got me really peeved. That's why I had to do this clip, because the developers need to get that taken off straight away. Second thing is, I highlighted the A's and the P's. That is because the person who got the fastest time was riding in arcade mode, which is virtually impossible to drop the bike, and I'm riding it in professional mode. Well, there should be a difference between the two. You can't have the same different class. There's totally different type of handling. So that should be the case. Either create an arcade version and a pro version and have two leaderboards. That's fine. At least that introduced the rider to the two different types of aspects of the game. So this is the arcade version, this is the pro. Are you a good enough rider to compete in that group? I'm just befounded that that's what they actually did. They used the rewind and just kept it in. I mean, if you've watched that in my clips, you know I hate doing the rewind. I want it to be like a proper race. That builds the tension. That's what makes the game exciting, that you can't make that mistake. And I'm going to show you what they've done in the crew. Okay, now the crew hasn't got it perfect, don't get me wrong, there's a couple of issues there, but I'll go through the cruise challenges, because that's a challenge that I love and it keeps making me go back there week after week. But let's show you a lot of time I get on here now. I'm on lap 4, coming through. It's just a no. Yeah, I've crashed, don't rewind. That I should be penalised for. That's the whole purpose of it being a challenge. And that is where I think the guys at the Milestone have lost their way a bit, because this is not a feature that I think is good. Yeah, and I'd like to know what your opinions are. I want you to know, am I just having a rant for the sake of it, or do you totally agree that this is unforgivable basically, and they need to adjust it, and need to change it? Yeah, because look at the time I managed to get this down. I'll go down to my last lap now. Let's give it a go. Oh, I'll cut that corner wrong again. What's the point, honestly? Right, I've done a 125. Here we go. A 2:14. A 2:14. And where does that get me in the leaderboard? Let's find out. Now, at time recorded this, I'm currently placed position 64 in the world, but I don't feel that I've got that or I've earned that. I've cheated my way there, so I won't be returning. So if that makes the top 500, then great. I'll move on to other things. Ironically, on the other monthly challenge, you'll see here, as I've just come in to start my fastest lap, you'll notice my lap time is already invalidated, because you can't use the rewind in this particular challenge, and if you go slightly off the track, that will also cut it up. So this is not that bad. This is slightly better, but still need more work. And one of the things I think you need to change this particular feature is I can only see my ghost type. Okay, I can't help improve my time on here. But what I think you should do is you should have the leader's ghost time, the one who's currently got pole position, and then probably about 10-15 places up ahead's ghost time. Yeah, and then we've got my own one. So I've got probably 4 riders, including myself as being one of those. So my ghost time, a person a few places up ahead, and then the actual leader, so I can try and progress and get better. Most bike games do that, by the way. Most have that feature. So let's take SBK, the VR Rider game has that. The Crew Motorfest has that. So again, it's just lazy, And that's the problem what I'm finding. Everything about this game, it's pretty, it's good, it's got a great foundation, it's just flipping lazy. Now I'm going to show you what the Crew Motorfest does on their challenges. It's not perfect, but let me just run through you how that works and why it keeps me going back every flipping week. Now, we won't talk about the menus in Crew Motorfest because there's an issue with those. I don't like them. I don't think many people do. We'll worry about that for another day. But let's look at what you could do in their monthly challenges, right? And one of those things is you have 3 different types of categories to run. Now, the first thing, some people might find the challenges are overwhelming because there's just too many things to do. And maybe that is correct. There are, sometimes you get bogged down with so many things, but let's just be aware, none of this costs extra money. It's not like Fortnite, you have to pay extra for this. This is all available that you can play as long as you're playing the game, and it's designed to encourage you to play the game. Okay, so some people might say there's just too much, and I agree, there might be. But again, if you complete one of those challenges, you get to unlock these items as you go through. So these will give you extra credits, and these credits will let you buy customization for your vehicles and cars without you having to buy the actual credit. So if you play the game, you will unlock this and you will earn points to do it. Okay. Now the one I like specifically for the crew is what they call the Summit, and the Summit then tends to be them trying to advertise a new car that they've just created. Yeah. So a new car might come release, and you can tend to earn that or win that car. But what they might want to do is to say, well, have a try this. What do you think of this thing? If you want to get it now, you can do. Or if not, you can unlock it later as long as you play the game. And if you're playing the game, they do unlock pretty quickly. But the Summit gives you a number of challenges. Not 2 challenges, by the way. Okay, let's just look at that for example. There are 9 challenges and they're weekly. Every single flipping week. Okay, and those will unlock decent challenges like a whole bike, a car, a bike and a car that you actually want, cosmetics that you actually want as well. Okay, and you get some serious money with it as well, and you've got multiple different types of events. Okay, so it's not just the one. You'll get the whole 9 events here for that 1 week. So I go back to this every week to do the Summit. The Summit for me is the best thing about the Crew Motorfest in my opinion. And that's the one feature I go back every week. And if I get into the top 15,000, because they have over 150,000 people every week trying to set the times to unlock these things. So there is a reason that people play this game every single week, 150,000. Where can I get in that particular place? So I agree, it's trying to find the line. And I don't want the Ride 6 to copy this. I want Ride 6 to do their own thing, okay? The crew have got this, keep it, great. Don't copy the crew, just look that the crew have tried to invent something different, tried to make me want to play the game, and that's what I'm trying to show you here, that these challenges may be too much, but they are here to try and make me want to go back and drive in the crew. So, how can a feature in Hitman be used in Ride 6 to make their challenges awesome? And this is how you could do it. And I think this is a cool feature because I don't think anyone in a racing game has done this. But Hitman has a lovely feature where every so often they release a certain target that you have to kill. Currently, you've got to kill Le Chiffre from James Bond, okay? And it's actually a live challenge, okay? And the live challenge says, right, you've got 1 attempt. Now, if you kill him, brilliant, you get certain points. But if you fail, your go is over. That's it. You only get 1 attempt on taking out the target. So how would this work in Ride 6? You don't have to kill anyone in the bike game, you just need to race. But what if your challenge is set in a similar period? You only get 1 attempt at that challenge. Now obviously we want the riders to keep coming back again and again to do this. So what if there's a time limit? So you only have 12 hours. So every 12 hours you can set 1 time and that is your time to go. So if you want to come back the next day and you can set your time again. There's no rewinds, no undos. If you start the race and then you jump out of it halfway through, that's your go over. You can't go, well, I didn't finish it. As soon as you flag that you're going to do that, that stops it. I think it would be easy to implement. And I just think that adds that extra bit of tension and drama to the game that will make it so much more fun. I mean, if you've been following my clips, I've done a whole season of MotoGP 25. And because I used no rewind feature, the tension I had of making mistakes or races made that whole season such a laugh. I had a great laugh doing it. I needed to do it to platinum the game, and it was brilliant. So I think this is a good idea. Let me know in the comments below if you think, is this a cool feature? Has it been used before anywhere else? Because I don't think it has been. Or do you have any ideas yourself that could make the online challenges better? Okay, I still quite like what we've got, and let's just say Ride 6 is what Ride 6 is. How can we enhance Ride 6 with the foundations that we have now and tweak it? And I'm not talking loads of redevelopment here. I'm just taking one feature. You have one time. You set it in 12 hours. You get one attempt, and then the next 12 hours pass. You can go back in there. You can do it again. I mean, that is something I would find really interesting. I would definitely keep coming back. I would like also there to be more variety of challenges, not just the 1 or 2. Why can't I have 3 or 4 of these? I don't mind if there were 5 races, like I've only got one attempt 5 times. I would do that, definitely, yeah? Another thing they need to do is they need to switch off the rewind on the challenges. Don't do that. That needs to go. You don't want to mix arcade and pro together. Have them separate. Have the pro racers and the arcade racers. So therefore I can experience arcade racing and see how it goes. You'll notice about 70% of the people that play Ride 6 are all pro racers anyway. So again, we're only basically applying for people that aren't that good at the game. And Ride 6 is nothing like MotoGP 25. It's a lot easier to do. Side note, by the way, I know this level here. This is the season pass challenge. This particular level, although a lot of people don't like the balloons, it's not the balloons I have an issue with, right? And I don't think I've mentioned this before. I may have done in the clip. It's the flipping rocks, right? Honestly, are they phallic or what? I have to be careful what I say here so I don't get blacklisted. But they look extremely inappropriate stone. I'm just saying. That's just me. That's just me. But that's my idea of how you could make online challenges a lot better. Please let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you think these are valid points that I've made? Do you think it needs to be more excitement to it? Because after you've done the career, it's over. I don't know. I'm just trying to look at ways that we can get this game to expand and offer more features to what already exists, and hopefully set this to be above the rest. And I don't say this often, but if you've made it this far in the clip, please like and subscribe. It definitely does help. I have noticed that if people say this, and I hate saying this, by the way, I really hate saying it, but if you don't get those extra positions, and the algorithms don't work, and it really does benefit me. It costs you nothing. I mean, I just want to try and build this channel up. I'm working trying to be more selective of what I post, so you'll see a bit more controlled stuff, and I've got a couple of clips coming up in the next month or so, but it's taken a while to pull those together. But if you do like what you've seen, please like and subscribe, guys. It definitely does help. I'm interested to see what you guys put in the comments below. Take care, and I will get a clip to you all very soon. Bye bye for now. Cheers.